Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me for today's episode of the Power to Pivot podcast. I am so grateful and excited for today's guest. She has returned. I have Vanessa Albury joining me. You might remember she spent some time with us a couple weeks back talking about her path to being a coach and healer. And Vanessa's joining us today to talk about another pivot she had made in her life and all the work of art that she's created. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, Elizabeth. I love being back here with you. I think what you're doing is really special and lovely, and it's a delight.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited. You have this background, and this came pre-healer,
Yes.
pre-Akashic Records reader, as an artist.
Yeah. So, it's I almost laugh a little every time I think or hear myself referred to as an artist because growing up, I was obsessed with the ocean. At like 4, we went for the first time snorkeling in the Keys with my grandparents, my aunt, with my dad, and I felt at home for the first time, like safe
Mm-hmm.
and where I belong on a coral reef, which is going to sound strange that a human child, it feels at home underwater on a reef, but that's where I felt safe for the first time in my life. And um, it's not that I wasn't loved. I was very loved, and my family was very good to me. They did their best, but there was a lot of fighting. My parents were like brutal to each other. So I was amidst what I call a war zone. So safety for me, I didn't know what it was until I was on a reef for the first time. Uh, and then I was just obsessed. Like, you know, free draw time, I'm drawing underwater scenes.
Oh.
Like all the time, like underwater stuff. And I thought I was going to be a scientist. So even through high school, I went to a math and science magnet high school in Nashville, Tennessee. Shout out to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Magnet High School for the health sciences and engineering. Um, it wasn't until I got to my second semester freshman year in college that I realized, oh my gosh, I'm good at this art thing. Uh, and that only happened because I had a really rough first semester, and I was like, all right, I'm changing everything next semester. I'm just going to have fun classes. And, I took my first art class, my first college level art class, and I got an A. And the teacher was like, I don't give A's. He starts
Wow.
out the class. Yeah. A lot of art teachers are like that because everyone thinks art's an easy A. Um, and I got an A plus in that class, and I was like, oh wow, I'm good at this. And I never had thought of myself as an artist before then. Like, so
Mm-hmm.
it's funny the way that you think of yourself for so long one certain kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, now I've been an artist for 22 years professionally, actually 23 years now professionally. Uh, so much longer have I've now been an artist than I ever thought I wasn't one. But that original thought, of like, oh, an artist is someone special. An artist is something that I'm not.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I still get over that. But yes, long story short, a visual artist.
So what was your first medium? Like when you were taking that
Mm.
class, was it mixed media art? What were you
It,
doing? And I'm curious, did you
mm,
have that same feeling of safety?
ooh, definitely didn't feel safe.
Okay.
uh, I mean, I felt safe where I was. I was in Charleston, South Carolina, which toward dark history in America, the most slave trade ships came in and out of the Charleston ports. So very dark history in America, but in the 90s, in the 1990s, it's a very safe place. Lovely people around me, kind people around me, supported. Um, just also a beautiful city. So in that way, I felt safe. and I've always loved school. So school is also kind of my safe space. Um, but the first class was drawing,
Okay.
because that's required for if you want to do anything else. First, you have to learn how to draw. Um, and it, I say no, it wasn't necessarily safe because it was a challenge, it was not easy. But I was game for it. And, I remember, um, trying to draw a dream that I had. Like I had this dream of seeing, the sun through trees, and like I could see individual trees and I could see the movement, and I was like trying to draw that, and just like exploring what drawing is. I remember seeing the moon for the first time and actually looking at the tonal differences on the surface of the full moon and drawing that. And I'm like, oh, I do see a man in the moon. Like I do see a face. Oh, there is a
Ah,
face there for the first time in my life. So I was finally, using my strong powers of observation to really look, and to look through my own hand, which gave me a next level of like ownership of information, if that makes sense.
yeah.
I
I as I
mhm,
visualize and think about as you're talking about this, I
mm,
almost imagine you in class, but almost
mm,
like a new baby, like
mhm.
coming into the world as this new person and
Yeah,
exploring the world through art, and I can almost imagine you as, looking at the moon through like a new lens of eyes. And
yeah,
I get this really like happy, like very joyful and peaceful
yeah,
sense that that was a moment for you.
yeah. It was like, it was beautiful. I mean, so beautiful it could bring me to tears. Like it was really beautiful. It was also the first moment I lived alone. I mean, I was in a dorm, but it was like a single room dorm where I didn't have to share the
Lucky.
room. Yeah. I came into college as a sophomore, with my credits, so I was able to get next level pick, earlier pick on housing. Um, and but you know, when I think about it, there are many things I did before that were, using my artistic skills, my artistic talent. I just didn't know it. I I used to I was obsessed with music in high school. Singer songwriters, like this is the 90s when hip hop is the rage, right? And I'm like, give me the singer songwriters, give me like the croning, you know. um excuse me. And I would take, and this is when CDs were the thing, right? So I would arrange my favorite CDs on my floor in my bedroom, and then I would add elements. So I actually make like little collages, um, like how different albums link to each other, and how, I understood how it all worked together. Um, and I also like drawing. I did a significant amount of drawing. I just remember being told, like, this person is the artist, or like, this person is good at that. Not that anyone was like, you're not good at this, but it's like this person is. And you're just like, oh, well, they didn't say me.
Right.
You but yeah, so I had to take a drawing class in order to take the photography class that I really wanted to take.
Gotcha. And over time, you have evolved as an artist, but a lot of your work has stayed within the photography realm, right?
Yeah, so I got my degree in, photography and sculpture.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I use both of those still. So my my interest in photography is not the interest that most people, have in photography. I most people look at photographs as a window into another world, right? Like you have that image of the beach on your wall, and you're like, you can just go to the beach. And when you look at the picture
Mhm.
on the wall, you're just at the beach, which is cool. I'm interested in the objecthood of photography, which people don't really think about so much. A photograph is actually a physical object. It's even a digital photograph is a physical object. Um, like a piece of paper that holds an image, it's a piece of paper, right?
Mhm.
So I've always been interested in the aperture, the armature of what image making is. Image is a physical phenomena. Our eyes are actually, they have the same science as a camera. Um, you a camera obscura is a natural form of a camera in nature. So, like in a cave, if you go in a cave with just the right size, with just the right hole opening to the sunlight comes through the hole, projects into the cave. You see the entire exterior of the cave, inside the cave, upside down, laterally reversed, live in color. This is a natural phenomena of the way light works. And so the science of a camera is nature. It's the science of light. It's very rudimentarily the same thing. Um, and I'm interested in in these object elements that create image, but also in the value we put on them. Like with film, for example, most kids these days, they don't know what film is.
Yeah.
Like maybe they heard the term before, but they never touched this stuff. Uh, and although black and white photography is coming back, there's a lot of stores opening these days, and like the kids are getting into it. Go for it, kids.
Yes.
To explore, get your hands dirty. Um, but so film, it's it's this thing that was so important like 30 years ago, right? And the way that culture exists now is largely to do with the invention of film. And 16 millimeter film, 35 millimeter film, movies, they're from film, right?
Mhm.
And it used to be on these big reels, and you change the reel midway through, and you have to have a good projectionist to do that, or else you lose the narrative as you watch.
Yep.
uh, um so I'm interested, for example, in, well, what is film now? If we had not, if everything's digital now, most everything's digital now, uh you know what is film? It's becomes this relic of the past, um that everything now is built on, but that not many people remember. And actually that's why I use the metaphor of film in the sculptures that I make for choral projects. Um, because just like the oceans, we've forgotten, film and the oceans together in this way. We've forgotten that the oceans are the base of our life. We've, pollute them, destroy them, overeat them, and dump our trash in them. Uh, and we forget that every other breath we take comes from them. So I use this form of the film, like a film burned in a projector's light, as this ossified relic to remind us of this break we need in the way we think about nature. We need to think about it with like the way that a film burns in a projector's light. It's like
Mm.
boom, fire, right? It's gorgeous, it's arresting, but it breaks the narrative. We need that same kind of break with the way we work with nature, the way we think about it.
Mm. As you are learning all of this about film,
Mm.
did you have a moment when you realized you were a scientist too?
Hmm. Yeah. I think I always thought I was a scientist.
Mhm.
Uh, I think I learned that I'm not a scientist. I'm
No.
not a scientist. I
But you
mean,
play with science through
but I
film.
play with science. Yeah, I'm science adjacent.
There you go.
I like to work with scientists. I think they are some of the most creative minds. They're really open to my wild and wacky ideas, and they want to, I'm like, hey, I want to grow filter species on these sculptures. What do you think? And they're like, yeah, it's perfect. Let's do it. You know, I want to, put these small ceramics that I dreamed up in a vision and your seahorse and corals tank. Yeah, let's do it. I'm like, great. you know, they're they're they have that joy, that excitement, that pure appreciation of nature because they study it. They
Yeah.
see it all, they're in it. And so I really vibe with scientists.
So tell us about the coral projects because this is so fascinating to me. Um, it's an underwater art
Mm.
exhibit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I like
How?
how you ask with a question. Exhibit? Yeah. How what?
So how does that work? How did
Yeah.
that come about and where do we find this?
Okay. So Coral Projects is what I call my life's purpose work. I see my life's purpose in this lifetime for healing for people and the planet through art and the oceans. And so you've already heard about how healing for people through the Akashic records and my life coaching work comes into it, but through the oceans, it's I make eco-friendly underwater contemporary artworks, and I also collaborate with other underrepresented artists to make these works. And we work with marine scientists to site them underwater to create the world's first eco-friendly underwater art exhibition. The plan is to have sites around the world, the whole equator. um, and we work with local craftspeople and contemporary artists together so that the artworks are inspiring. They make you think, they make you wonder, they make you question. I don't necessarily need to see another mermaid underwater or like a, scuba diver helmet or like a starfish. Like that all's great. It exists already. I want to see what else we can do. I want to see um, what, contemporary artists are some of the most brilliant minds. They come up with the most interesting shapes and objects and ideas. And I want to help those people learn how to make eco-friendly art that then the ocean can collaborate with them. So corals, oysters, mussels grow on the sculptures. And my goal eventually is that you no longer see the sculptures. They'll work, the works will live underwater permanently. So think, sunken ship kind of stuff. Um, and yeah, in an ideal world, the sea comes back so strong that you don't even see the sculptures anymore. I have sites underway in southern Italy, Jamaica, New York, and in conversations here in Dubai at a Dugan Preserve. The Gulf um, here, the Persian Gulf, they call it the Arabian Gulf here, but Persian Gulf is actually a little more generous to everyone in the region. Um, they've killed most of their sea life developing this city, Dubai. Um, there's been a lot of dredging of the seafloor and just it doesn't have the life it once had that it deserves to have.
Mm.
Um, and actually that the people need, and people don't realize how much they need it. But just kill the ocean and see what happens.
Oh yeah. So we can if I go to
Mm.
southern Italy right now, like can I do I have to dive down to it? Like
Oh,
How do I
Okay,
see it?
right. So the site is underway. It's in progress.
Okay.
We're fundraising for that site as well as a documentary film to follow the project. And I my goal is that those two things happen at the same time, that the funding for the documentary happens at the same time as the first sighting, because I really want that to be part of the documentary. Um, so the documentary follows me as the protagonist, um, creating this project around the world. And you will have to dive at the site in southern Italy, because the site is in the Ionian Sea, Puerto Cesario, which is an archaeological marine site, marine protected site, because early Homo species of mankind lived there, which is very cool. But the waves are so powerful, the currents are very strong, that actually the pieces will have to be sighted about 12 meters deep at the shallowest. So 12 meters deep, you're going to want a scuba tank. Unless you're a strong free diver, you can, snorkel down or you swim down and on a long breath. Um, Other sites will be you just swim and there it is. Eventually, I want underwater cameras at all the sites so that we can set up an app and anyone can look live real time and see exactly what's going on the artworks and the reef where they live. So right now, where you can see the work is on my website and on my Instagram. So it's coralprojects.com and the Instagram is coral.projects. You can see the temporary sites that I've made. There's a temporary site from Southern Italy from 2022. I did a temporary site this year in South Africa. I would love to do a site in South Africa for the kelp forest, which that would be really, really awesome. Um, but yeah, that's how you see it right now.
Amazing. I am so excited. I also wonder, because I don't know, how does I think about Dubai and what you had mentioned about how the sea life is killed off.
Yeah.
If and when this project is underway, what happens at that point? How does and how long does it take to regenerate
Mm,
the the life there in the
right.
water?
Mother Nature is extremely resilient, and the ocean is one of the fastest growing um, bio conditions, biospheres on the planet. I believe it was David Attenborough who said something like, life evolves 50% faster on a coral reef than anywhere else on the planet, even faster than a rainforest. Um, you just need to give it the conditions that it needs to thrive. So um, there there are some energies here in Dubai that are working on becoming green, being sustainable, bringing the nature back. I would say it's a slow process here. People are really into the blingy blingy and the single use plastic life. Um, Kind of hurts my feelings. I have to say, I'm constantly picking up after people. And,
Can it be both
yeah,
blingy
yeah.
blingy and the like
That's this
like
is
how
this
do
is
we
what
tell
we want.
people you
Yes,
can do
you can be
both?
blingy blingy. And actually, what's way more blingy blingy than plastic is your own cup. you know, yes. What it comes from is when you've been in poverty and without for so long, you just want to like stew in your own filth. It does not make sense. Like you just want to have all the ease, all the convenience, you know. And Dubai is a young city, it's only what, like 10 years that suddenly all these buildings are here.
Mhm.
Um, and the country has been wealthy for a long time, but the people have not been wealthy for a long time. So they're like, yeah, they're like teenagers, running around smoking cigarettes and throwing around plastic water bottles
Mhm.
and chip bags and candy wrappers. Um, but the biggest flex is that you can breathe clean air. The
Mhm.
biggest flex is that you have a beautiful, clean environment that you live in. Instead of, I mean, it's funny how the government monitors like their um, identity on online, because if you look up like is there plastic on the beaches of Dubai, it's like Dubai has the most pristine beaches in the world. BS. Okay. BS. Because listen, I'm on the beach almost every day. There is trash everywhere. People have trashed the beach. And I mean, I've been on the beach in Africa. I've been on the beach in Europe. I've been on the beach in America. I've been on the beach in South America. Trashiest beaches I've ever seen are here. Um, it's people from all over the world too. It's not like I'm not blaming the Arabs at all.
Right, right, right.
Um, Actually, they're probably the ones not trashing their own beaches. So like all the Europeans and the Australians and not it's not so many Americans, mostly Asians, Europeans, Australians. Yeah, the biggest flex to me is to have a beautiful, eco-friendly, sustainable, high quality life that just gives back to nature, that just works in fluidity with
Mhm.
nature. That's like sleeping on sheets made of organic cottons or hemp, which hemp, when it grows, it nourishes the soil in a way that cotton can't. Um, every time you sleep on those sheets, you did something good for the planet. So every time you sleep, you're just going to get that next level of good vibe sleep, right? Because
Mhm.
you know that this is good. You did something good here, even if you paid twice what it cost. That's a flex to me. Um, I
So
forget the first part of your question, but yeah, go ahead.
that's okay. um, I'm curious, is there a way? Well, actually, I have so many questions, but is there a way to use the trash for art? Can we turn
Hmm.
that trash into something beautiful? Um, like is yeah, I guess that's just my question.
Yeah, it's a good question. I have a few thoughts about this. Yes, of course. Trash can be turned into art. Abso-freaking-lutely. There are some incredible artists that do that already. Um, Amanda something out of Cape Town, South Africa. She makes these amazing little sculptures out of these tiny microplastics that she collects from the beach. Um, I find I find it to be a big challenge to do it well. Um, the classic is like, look, I made a wave out of plastic water bottles. Like, that's cool. I don't necessarily consider that art. I consider that design. I consider that creative. Um, but you know, art goes beyond the material into ideas. Art is a dialogue. It's an exchange. It's a visual exchange. And so what is the dialogue, that you're creating with what you're presenting? And so when your materials are trash, it's an interesting limit. It's an interesting limitation. I know there's a festival here in February uh, that use it. A lot of artists reuse materials like trash materials. Um, I I would rather us I would rather us stop making so much trash. that's unnecessary. Yeah, you know, plastic is completely replaceable now. There are plant-based alternatives that are non-oil, non-fossil fuel based. Um, and you can drink out of it. You can buy, put it in bags. You can make these bags that, you know, are plant-based, that are completely compostable. Um, I have a loamy at home. When I have a home, a loamy, I'm, nomadic right now. And I any like plant-based plastics that I've used, I biodegrade them with my food waste. It's really cool. And then you can use that biodegraded material as soil for your house plants or your outdoor plants.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think we need to change our mindset around trash, and start living a low waste lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and yeah, we can make art out of trash, just like, but then it's, then where is it going to live? Um, are you going to keep it forever? Are you going to, collect it? Is it going to hang on your wall? Okay, that's fine. But are you going to eventually throw it away? Then we have
Mm.
another problem. Um, and that's what I find with a lot of these temporary installations. Yes, they're collecting trash, they're putting it to use, but it's a temporary use. So it's a permanent problem with a temporary solution.
Mm. That
And then
makes
we have
sense.
things, yeah. And then we have things like baby's diapers, Huggies. Oh, Huggies. Huggies, one Huggy outlives baby by about 300 years.
Wow.
Yeah. One poopy diaper outlives baby 300 years. Do you want to make some art out of some poopy
No, I'm
diapers?
good.
Okay, just wondering.
Having had 4 children, I know.
No, no, you're
That
not.
put a lot into
Oh,
perspective for me
yeah,
right there.
yeah, yeah, right. And imagine, for thousands of years before the 1970s, before plastic was in everything, people did okay. Babies didn't poop all over everything. You know, they had diapers before and it worked. There were services, launder services, where, they come take the poopy cloth diapers, clean them, and then you have another set of clean diapers for baby to poop in. Um, we want to just go back to that. We tried plastic and everything. Okay, now we see it's a problem. Let's rewind a little. let's uh let's let's change this. I think about the grocery store in the early 80s when I was a child. There was not so much plastic.
Mm-hmm.
There's Now everything is in plastic. I mean, you're hard pressed to get things in glass bottles.
Oh yeah.
Glass and metal are 99.9% recyclable. So anything you buy, tin can, metal, glass, if you put those in your recycling program, they're likely getting fully recycled. That's a fully renewable material. Plastic, on the other hand, the percentage of plastic that is bought and then that is entered into the recycling system, very low, one. And then of the plastic that goes into the recycling system, about 10 or 15% of it actually gets recycled.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's
So it's some rough numbers.
that is rough. So we just have to completely rethink what we're doing to the planet.
Yeah.
Um, and so this is where Coral Projects comes in. Now I'm
Yeah.
wondering from a different perspective, like these coral projects are not intended to be farmed, correct?
Oh, no, but I'm not opposed to it.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, I don't, um, I'm not opposed to it for the when in the moment when the oceans are so ample that there's abundance there to be eaten.
Got it.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that
First,
makes sense.
I want to see all the filter species thriving. I want to see them doing all their good work, cleaning up all the waters. Then let's talk about eating the the corals. No, we don't eat corals. Eating the mussels and the oysters. But kelp, totally. Let's eat that now. That's really good for us.
Mm. This whole project is completely fascinating to me. How do people support?
Oh, yes. Okay. Well, there's a few ways. We take uh, donations that are totally tax write-offable, totally tax deductible via the website. There's a link on the front page. Donate here. You go straight to my fiscal sponsor, which is Fractured Atlas, and whatever donation you make, you get a tax deductible letter if you need it. Um, you can also purchase a custom sea coin, which is this ceramic artwork that I make for you specifically. That's why it's custom, to cleanse your human ocean relationship. So it's a commerce exchange. It's the coin that you get, the sea coin, um, is a token of your contribution to doing your part to clean the oceans. And so every time you see it, you get to remember, I'm doing something good here. I'm participating in supporting the oceans, cleaning the oceans. I had a vision about a year and a half ago, gosh, at least a year and a half ago now, of the ocean. I was deep in the ocean, and the ocean just washed into my hands this stack of pearlescent coins, these like palm-sized pearlescent coins. Then I just remember like holding them in my hands and thinking, wow, these are so beautiful. And then I woke up with them almost like in my hand. And I realized like, oh, I have to make these. This is a gift from the ocean. This is how I help each individual be part of this project. So sea coins are a way to contribute and to also receive something back for your contribution.
And they're beautiful, guys. You want to check out the sea coins, get a sea coin. They're gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you.
Um, Tell us. I know this is going to sound funny. I think you're going to laugh when I ask you this, but please tell us about bamboo toilet paper and why it's important.
I want to.
I know you do.
Well, as I like to say, bamboo toilet paper is my favorite gateway activity for going green. So what is bamboo toilet paper? You might be wondering. It is traditional toilet paper made out of bamboo fibers instead of paper fibers. And why do we want that? Well, bamboo toilet paper takes 90% less water to make. So for your regular roll of toilet paper, Scott's or whatever, one roll of that, you get 10 rolls of bamboo toilet paper for the same amount of water. It takes no chemicals to bleach it or purify it in any way. Bamboo grows significantly faster than trees, and also enriches the soil and is a 5 times stronger carbon dioxide sink when bamboo is growing. So it also disintegrates into your sewage system much faster than regular toilet paper. There are many other reasons that bamboo toilet paper is much more eco-friendly than paper, even than recycled paper toilet paper. So the reason that I love bamboo toilet paper so much is that every time you wipe, you remember, ah, this is bamboo toilet paper. Ah, I've done something good for the planet today. And it reinforces that desire to do green things, to go green and to feel good about it. It's soft because it's made of bamboo. It's naturally soft. And another favorite aspect, most bamboo toilet paper companies are owned, or at least partially owned, by a Black or brown person. So the reason that's important, people don't necessarily realize that social justice and environmental justice are the same issue. Wherever natural disaster occurs due to climate change, Black and brown communities are impacted the most. Also, women and children. So you want to support small businesses owned by Black and brown people so that they can be raised up, so that they can pull themselves up from this position of getting the brunt of this burden of climate change. The companies that I like the best are Lord Tush, which is a pair of sisters, Black women that are sisters out of Baltimore. They sell by mail boxes of bamboo toilet paper, very reasonable, very affordable. There's also Reel, Reel, which is sold out of Target now, owned, Black owned company. And then there's also, Reel also has paper towels and tissues. You can also order online and get it direct delivery. I have referral codes for all these companies, so we'll make sure I give those to you,
Yes,
Elizabeth, to
please.
share with everybody. And then the third company is especially for our Europeans, it's called Who Gives a Crap. It's
Love that.
yeah, it's cute. It's a UK based company, and they also do tissues and paper towels now. And they have, I believe, at least one brown person in their ownership team.
And I had looked
Mhm.
up because I'm committing myself to go bamboo uh for 2024. It's like my a New Year's resolution. But
Love it.
it's not like I think about the price of a huge pack of traditional toilet paper. And as you said, it's there's not much of a difference, guys, price wise. It's about very, very close, if not the
Yep.
same. So
Yep.
it's not like you're because there's that mindset of like going
Going
organic.
green is
Yeah, it's
expensive.
gonna
Yeah.
cost more money. If if it costs a little more, it literally is like
It's just a little.
pennies. It's
Yeah.
yeah, we're not talking like $50 a roll of toilet paper here.
No.
Um,
No.
and it is something manageable that we can do to
Hmm.
do our part, like you said.
Yeah.
So we will put the codes in the notes for the show.
I love that you
Um,
asked about that.
I had to.
Yeah.
So I want to go back to something
Mm.
because the the art, it's really easy as an artist to be scared and to not feel safe in your art. Creativity can be scary
Yeah.
because you're literally serving up your soul on a platter for the world to see, and there's judgment. And how did you reconcile that for
Uh,
yourself?
yeah. Um,
Because this is a big project that you're undertaking.
this is true. It's true. It's a big global project. I it's not about me.
Mm,
Um, there's a bigger mission here. And also, it's not my idea, it's the universe's idea. I it came, I mean, it literally came to me like lightning out of the sky, like zapped into my brain. I was like, oh. I was snorkeling at Aracabesa Bay Fish Sanctuary in Jamaica, the first fish sanctuary I ever visited. And this is a place where the fishermen had almost killed the reef entirely with explosive fishing techniques, meaning they threw bombs into the ocean to stun the fish, and they almost killed the whole reef that way. Um, and I visited about 4 years after they got together, 28 something fishermen and this resort nearby, um, leaving no person behind who gets their food, gets their meals from the ocean. They all agreed to protect the certain perimeter of the sea, to bring it back. So no fishing in this certain zone, which means that the people that spearfish would have to swim out farther, and the people that fish from boats would have to have more gasoline and gas out farther, fish farther out. But they did it because there was no other choice at that point. There were no more fish. So I was there after they've already had massive successes at having like 1,300% increased biomass in just like 4 years. And I saw 10,000 fish that were about an inch big. And I recognized them all because I'd seen big versions of him on the reef in the Keys as a child. Um, the biggest fish I saw that day was a barracuda that was maybe a foot long, which is a
Wow.
very small barracuda, very small barracuda. Um, and I was sitting on the shore that evening with my friend Harry. We were talking about another eco art project that I had done the year before. I'd made camera obscura out of 100% uh, um, biological materials in a delta fjord in the north of Norway. And he was like, wouldn't it be cool to see that work here? And then, like lightning, I saw underwater art, huge sculptures, interesting shit, curious, weird shapes made by contemporary artists, and sea life growing all over it. And I was like, oh my God, yes, it looks like this, it goes like this. And then I just knew the whole story.
Mm,
Um, and that was in 2016. So I've got, I go through so many like birth, death, renewal processes with this project because it means the world to me. Like it's everything to me, and I get really attached. Ooh, I get so attached
mm.
because I love it. I love it so much. But attachment will slow your shit down. That's for sure. So I constantly have to let it go. Like I'm like, all right, now is that we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that, and da, da, da. And then it doesn't go that way. I'm like, oh, I feel let down. I feel like I'm not good enough. I feel like, when is it ever going to happen? How am I ever going to pull this off? You start to get like, I can't even do this. But that's just to say that I'm extremely critical on myself, like because the goal is so big, and I care about it so much that I don't really care what anyone else thinks. um and what I know is that everyone else loves it. um
Yeah.
and everyone I talk to about it gets inspired because we all know that the oceans need saving. We all know it, and we
Hmm.
all love the idea that art can do something about it. Everyone talks about art as like this extra. It's like you don't need art. Like art's for fun, or art, but whoa, wait, art can do something very practical and save all of our lives. Okay, cool. I'm into that. Like, tell me more.
How do we get
Um,
kids involved?
I am in the process of getting kids involved, actually. So um, I have education programming that, fingers crossed, begins in February in South Africa with a group of marine um, science researchers who are introducing the ocean to children who live near the ocean but have no experience with the ocean because they are that underprivileged. Um, they take them to the ocean, teach them basic marine science. I'm bringing art into this programming that they already have going. So I'll show kids what eco art is. I'll talk to them about the spiritual aspects of what it means to create in harmony with nature, and then to give what you've made to nature. And then the kids will make their own artworks. We will take them into nature. We'll take them into the ocean. The kids will observe nature with their art, and then they'll also get to take their art with them at the end. And I I want to do more programming like this. Kids get it,
Oh
like,
yeah.
and they have eco anxiety, so they need it.
Yes, yes. Because we talk so much about how the world is filled with these big issues. The ocean, like you said, the oceans need saving. We know this. The air needs saving. We know this.
Yeah,
So yeah, they're inundated with it.
yeah,
And now they
I,
can help fix it.
yeah, exactly. And the beautiful thing is, every time I put one of my made from pure love, eco-friendly artworks in a scenario with underwater creatures, they take over the artworks immediately. Like,
Mm.
they know it's for them, and they just adopt it immediately. Like these pieces that I had at the Explorers Club during World Oceans Week this past June in New York. Um, I had these three small sculptures in a seahorses and corals aquarium. The second I put the first piece in, all three seahorses in the aquarium went straight to that piece and stared at it. They were just like, each one of them. And then I put the other two pieces in, and immediately the male wrapped himself around one and the female wrapped herself around the other one.
Oh.
Immediately. They just know, they're very intelligent.
Mhm.
Sea life is very intelligent. And I just know, I'm very excited about my site in southern Italy because I'm working with a marine scientist studying mussels, the growth of mussels there, because they've been hazardously overfished.
Mhm.
People hack into the whole side of the landscape underwater and take 20 years of growth for one meal.
Oh
Um,
gosh.
yeah, it's real bad. So this area has been protected. I want to see the rate of growth of these mussels on my sculptures versus the rate of growth on other sites, because I'm going to guess that it's going to blow some minds how quickly mussels regrow on my sculptures because of the energy of love.
Yep.
I just, I, if to some people that's going to sound corny as hell and so not scientific, but you just wait. the, the research will come out. Uh, Why is it that this mussels grew 4 times faster on these sculptures than it did on that rock or that rock or that rock? Same environment. Why is it so prolific here? You know? Um,
It's that energy of wanting
yeah,
to and choosing
yeah,
to
yeah,
versus we have to, because otherwise we're going to, like, it will meet our demise because we've killed the ocean. Like it,
yeah.
even saying that brings a different energy.
It's true.
um so
But
I'm
it's
so excited for you.
Thank you. I'm excited for all of us.
Yes. What is, as we get ready to wrap up,
Yeah.
one, where can people, again, just remind us, where can we find you and Coral Projects?
So Coral Projects, the best place to go is coralprojects.com, my website. There's a page called exhibitions where you can see all images from past underwater locations and above water sites of art exhibitions we've done. And then also the link to donate is there on the front page.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Instagram coral.projects, and in the link in the bio, you also will find the link to donate. I also have a personal Instagram, Vanessa Albury official, where you can learn more about the spiritual side of things. That's where I do that work. Yep, that's where everything is.
Where can we find the sea coins? If
Yes. All you have to do is message me that you want one. So
okay.
you can email me info@coralprojects.com or DM me coral.projects, Instagram, anywhere. You just say, yo, I want one.
Just tell her
um,
I
just
need
tell me.
one.
I needs it. I got to have it. I believe I'm also going to be putting a live link on all the pages where you can just go straight to it and make the purchase. I just haven't created that link yet.
Okay. Last,
Mhm.
if there's nothing else that you
Mhm.
want, or that, no, what is the one takeaway, one
Mhm.
lasting takeaway that maybe we haven't talked about that you need to make sure people know about
Mhm.
your work and the coral projects and anything that we've covered today?
Mhm. Well, I think the most important thing that we all need to know is that every little thing you do matters. Every little action you take is an accumulation of the larger societal actions that we take. You're not functioning alone. You're not functioning, apart from everyone else. Every time you make a choice, conscious or unconscious, it's accumulating in a direction. Do you want to accumulate it towards the direction of healing, or do you want to accumulate towards the direction of more problems? And literally, if you start looking at every choice you make through this lens, it will change your whole life. And I don't just mean it'll change your life, like your life will be harder. It's not like that. I mean, it will bring more abundance into your life because the more conscious you are about every little thing you do, the more awareness you bring, the fuller you are in committing to those choices that you're making. Like, for example, bamboo toilet paper. um, right now, big companies, Scott's toilet paper, Bounty, whatever, they don't make bamboo toilet paper. Why? It's not fiscally in their personal corporate best interest. Well, they don't know that it actually is. It actually is. It's actually in every single human and corporation's best interest to use bamboo toilet paper because it prolongs our capacity to live on the planet, right? But they don't think about it like that. But what they do think about is the bottom line. And if you buy bamboo toilet paper and then your friend buys bamboo toilet paper and then 10 of their friends, and then suddenly you're 100 more people not buying Scott's brand, not buying, Bounty or like the bear one, whatever that one, Comfy. I don't know. I don't know what that one's called. Whatever brand, your money is now being redirected away from these big companies to these small companies that are do-gooders, right? That are doing good for the planet. Once 10, even 8% of their profit margin is gone to bamboo toilet paper, they're sweating.
Mm-hmm.
They want that money back. And suddenly, big companies are going to be changing their ways. They're going to be making eco-friendly alternatives because they want you back as a customer. So you individually hold so much power. Your money, your good that you put into the world that generated your money, that is your good, put it towards more good so that you can just amplify the good. And as you amplify that good, suddenly just takes a few people. Imagine the billions of people that buy Scott's brand toilet paper. We just need what, 50,000, 500,000 people to switch to bamboo toilet paper, to take enough of a profit margin away from Scott's, to put the pressure on them to change their ways. And once these bigger corporations in these large industries, once they make a change, it becomes a universal change. It's like, if Poland Spring stopped using plastic water bottles and started using either carton water bottles, or even better, the tin renewable water bottles, if they changed, the whole industry would change.
Yep.
It becomes a trickle down in that way. So, but it starts with they need the pressure. Right now, they're just like slap happy, throwing money into their pockets and, wiping their ass with money.
And it's a beautiful part of business because it forces you to be creative, to innovate, which makes everything better. We are stronger together to make that innovation happen, which then everybody thrives in business, because now it's not just about the money. It's about
ethics.
Yes, exactly. So it forces you as the CEO to push your company to innovate, and there's so much more good that can come out of that.
So much more exponential.
Oh yeah.
When we diversify, we accelerate our growth opportunity. When there's more interests at the table, suddenly there's more opportunity for everyone.
Yes, there's not one winner. We're all the winner.
Exactly.
If we choose that.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Vanessa, thank you again for coming back. And this was a very different conversation, but one that I'm so glad we get to share.
Same.
Remember, guys, we're going to wrap up. You were never stuck. You were never lost, and you were never, ever alone. At any given moment, you can use your power to pivot, whether that be going to sea or contributing to the coral projects or buying bamboo toilet paper, making one simple new choice and starting again. And I will talk with everyone on the next episode. Take care, guys. And thank you again, Vanessa.
Thanks, Elizabeth.